Tragedy at sea, as the American fleet is sunk in the Atlantic. Meanwhile, German forces continue their advance upon Soviet Russia, taking Leningrad, and now stand on the cusp of taking the entire country. Okay, Generalfund reporting for duty. We're going to go ahead and do Russia's turn. We have made it to turn 4 of the Generalfund YouTube Wars. Again, thank you for whoever's still tuning in. Thank you for still tuning in. Going to recap Germany's awesome turn that they had, and move forward with Russia. So, biggest deal here is I tried to be slick. I did a paratrooper drop into southern France, Normandy, and into Holland, Belgium. My hope was to prevent what I knew was going to happen, which was No Limit took a fighter from Western Germany, and with one roll and with one shitty defensive roll from my cruiser, sunk my whole navy, took down a ton of 4 tanks, 4 infantry, and pretty much any chance the United States had of getting into the Pacific, the war here in Europe. It's I'm out of time, and it's not going to happen. So congratulations to No Limit. I thought I had a destroyer along with that fleet, which is why I moved it there. I was rightly called out on it because I didn't. I made a mistake. You got to live with your mistakes. But you know, he caught it. He saw it. Once again, he got a lucky roll. He hasn't had an unlucky roll yet that I know of. And you know, that's breaks. That's how it goes. So, yep, the Juggernaut has crashed into Leningrad, and they have picked up another victory point. Okay, so that brings the Axis powers to 10 victory points. They are but a tantalizing 4 victory points away from winning this game. They've only got 2 turns left to do it, so it's going to come down to the wire. I'll go ahead with, this is Russia's buy. I went with 7 infantry, 2 tanks, and I've got $2 left over. I think Germany is at 40, what is it? 43. I'm not completely sure about that. I'll let No Limit deal with that whenever. It doesn't actually really matter to me, but I've got Russia 28. So go ahead with Russia's turn. Okay, well, I thought about making an attack into eastern Poland. That's a little bit of a weak spot there. But with my tanks defending at 4, I think instead I've got to keep them back for defensive purposes and take the best advantage of that. So, okay, so yeah, this turn is just going to be a series of non-combat movements, and I'll go ahead and run those. Okay, so from Ukraine, I moved 1 infantry into Bryansk, and then pretty much everything else, I just consolidated everything into Moscow in a big mass cluster there. Dumped everything into there, and I think it'll be a lot easier if I just go ahead and move to my place units phase, and then I'll do a recap, and we'll finish up Russia. Okay, so for the turn recap, I have 1 infantry in Karelia, 1 infantry in Vyborg, 1 infantry in Archangel, 1 infantry in Smolensk. In Soviet Russia, I have 10 tanks. I have 5, 6, 7, 8 infantry, 1 tactical bomber, 2 fighters, 3 aircraft guns, 2 mechanized infantry, 3 artillery. Bryansk, 1 infantry. Western Ukraine, 1 infantry. Bessarabia, 1 infantry. Ukraine, 2 mechanized infantry. Stalingrad, 2 tanks. Caucasus, 1 infantry. Northern Persia, 1 infantry. Yasinski, Yenizi, whatever. 1 tank there. 1 tank in Sikayang. And then I moved the Navy over to Sea Zone 112. That's a destroyer, or excuse me, a cruiser and a submarine. I'm going to roll for Lend-Lease, and we'll wrap it up. All right, our first Lend-Lease is going to be for Nenetsia. All right, go ahead. Cadet Cadence, put her down the chute. A 4, and a 4 is an artillery. So cool. All right, we're going to roll for our second Lend-Lease, and that's going to be in Soviet Far East. Go ahead and roll that one. That's a 5. That is a mechanized infantry. So I'll put those out on the board. All right, so there's my artillery. There's my lonely mechanized infantry over there. And move to collect income phase and wrap it up. Okay, I had to double check everything, but yeah, Russia is at 28. They have $2 left over, so they're going to collect 20, $30. And that's going to close it out. And next up is going to be Mr. Sunny New in Japan.
Please subscribe to General Fund for less dishonor.